Hello and welcome to my class. I am Miss Shively and I'm so excited to have you in my classroom this year. This is Miss Shively's classroom plan. Hello and welcome to our classroom website. This resource contains anything you may need to know about what is happening within our classroom and how our classroom is run. Within this resource, you may find classroom announcements, technology resources we use within the classroom, a calendar of events, our class schedule, our classroom rules and consequences, our classroom policies and procedures, and homework. I am so happy to have you as a part of my class. Below, I have also listed some contact information. You can reach me via email or phone. My email is shivelem@cougars.sf.edu, and my phone is 260-494-2443. You can use either contact information to get a hold of me, and I will try my hardest to reply as soon as possible. I have also listed some information about Miss Shively. Hello, my name is Elisa Shively, and I am currently a junior at the University of St. Francis, where I am studying special and elementary education. I am from the small town of Ossian, Indiana. When I am not in school, some of my favorite things to do include spinning flag in my school's color guard, hanging out with family and friends, reading, watching Disney movies, and playing with my pet rat. I can't wait to continue to get to know you all throughout our time in my class. And below I have attached some pictures of me and my friends. So there's many tabs on my classroom website. If you go to the three bars in the top left corner, you can see all the tabs on our classroom website, and I will go through each of those with you. So first we have our class announcements page. I'll post the class announcements below, so you can see things regarding homework, birthdays, field trips, anything that you need to know about our class will be posted below. Next we have our technology resources. Listed below are the different technology resources we could use within our classroom. So we may not use all of them, but they're there for us to use. We may use Google Drive, which is a great way for you to see exactly what your student is working on. You can have access to the same thing that I have access to and see what they're working on and how they're doing and how they're progressing. We also could use Class Dojo, which is a great way to record the behavior of the students, and you can see exactly how they're doing day by day. We can also use Kahoot and quizzes. These are both forms of game type apps where I could upload a quiz about a certain topic we're learning about in class, and then the students could take it and I could monitor their progress and how they're doing. We also have a Modo, which is a Facebook type of server where we can post classroom announcements, assignments, and you guys can also feel free to post on there also. And then we could use Edpuzzle, which is a way for me to upload a video about content we're learning in the class, and the students will be able to answer questions so I can monitor their progress and see where they're at. So next we have our calendar. Posted below will be our classroom's calendar, which I will keep updated throughout the course of our school year together. So I'll update it with field trips, any assignments that are important that are due, classroom birthdays, and I'll also attach a school calendar for school events on here too. Next, we'll have our schedule. Listed below will be our classroom schedule, which will be updated regularly. So I'll update it with any new information that happens, and I'll have a schedule for each day of the week on there since our classroom schedule will change day by day. Next, we have our classroom rules. And I have attached a visual of my classroom rules, so I'll read those to you. Miss Shively's classroom rules. The first one is to treat everyone and everything in the classroom with respect. It's important that we make sure everyone feels safe and loved in our classroom. The next rule is to keep your hands and feet to yourself. It's important that we don't invade anybody's privacy and we can have everybody feel safe in our classroom. The third rule is to stay quiet and raise your hand when you have something to say. Do not interrupt others. This helps to make sure we stay on task with our learning. And the last rule is to try your hardest each and every day. So there's the visual of our classroom rules, and I've also attached a link of an infographic that goes more in depth of each of our rules and why they're important and set into place in our classroom. So if you want to follow that link, you can get more information about the classroom rules. Next is our classroom consequences. And I have another visual of our classroom consequences attached. So with the rule, treat everyone and everything in the classroom with respect. First, if you abuse it, you lose it. If this action continues to persist, you'll be asked to give a verbal apology. Then tickets will be taken away, which I'll explain more in depth later. Then if it continues to persist, you'll be separated from the group and a call home will be made. For our rule of keeping your hands and feet to yourself, you'll first be asked to give a verbal apology, then your tickets will be taken away. If it continues to persist, you'll be separated from the person the problem is occurring with, and then you'll lose recess time. With our rule of staying quiet and raising your hand when you have something to say, you will first be given a verbal warning. Tickets will be taken away, and if it continues to persist, you'll be separated from the group. With our rule of trying your hardest each and every day, if your work is not completed, it'll be made up during recess time. So I've also attached a link here of an infographic that goes more in depth of each of our consequences and why they are important and set into place in our classroom, just like with the classroom rules. So if you have any more further questions, you can check out that link or feel free to contact me. So we will have two forms of systems within our class for monitoring behavior. We'll first have our ticket system and our clip system. The ticket system will be that students will be able to receive tickets or also have tickets taken away for them if they're exemplifying good or bad behavior. And then with these tickets at the end of each week, students will be able to trade them in for prizes. And then we have our clip system. I'll have a yardstick at the front of the class separated into 6 colored sections: purple, green, yellow, orange, blue, and red. Each student will have a clip with their name on it. At the beginning of the day, students will start out in the green section. They'll have the opportunity to move up or down throughout these sections if they're exemplifying good or bad behavior. The purple section will represent great behavior. Green will represent good behavior. Yellow students will be given a warning. Orange students will ask to take a timeout and be separated from their group. Blue students will be given a call home, and red students will be sent to the office. Each day I will also send home a behavior sheet that will tell you what color your students were on for that week so that you can see their behavior for each day and monitor it. Also, along with this, with our tickets, if students are on purple and green for the entire week, they will have a chance to get extra tickets at the end of the week when we turn in our tickets for prizes. If you have any further questions on that, feel free to contact me. Next, we'll move on to our policies and procedures. I've also attached an image of Ms. Shively's classroom procedures. So at the beginning of the day, students will hang up their backpack and jacket, turn in their homework, place their lunch stick of what lunch they would like for the day, and begin their morning work. At the end of the day, students will make sure they know what assignments are due for tomorrow. They will put everything in their folder, get their backpack and jacket, and line up. For entering the classroom, students will enter quietly, find their seat, check the board, or quietly raise their hand to see what we are doing. For lining up, girls will line up on the left and boys on the right. Will walk quietly to their line. They'll line up in number order and stay quiet and follow classroom rules in the hallways. Like the rules and consequences, I've also attached a link of an infographic that goes more in depth of each of our policies and procedures and why they are important and set into place in our classroom if you have any further questions. Next is our homework section. This is where you'll be able to find the students' daily homework assignments and see what's due the next day or for the whole week. And then attached, I have a motivation essay I completed about the importance of motivation in my classroom and how I will put that into place if you're interested in reading that. I also have a classroom management plan and philosophy that I wrote that you can read about how I plan on managing my classroom and what I have planned for my classroom philosophy. And along with this, I also have a classroom management plan infographic. So if you don't want to read the whole essay, this kind of sums it up, so I'll read it for you. So Ms. Shively's classroom philosophy. As a teacher, my role will be that of a facilitator. I will allow my students to have self-control within their learning. Also, I will give students responsibility of their own work and actions within my classroom. Next, within my classroom, students will have an active role in their learning. My classroom is student-centered, meaning students are involved in their own learning. Through this, students will be able to build upon and use each other as a resource. Next, my classroom will be an inclusive environment where every student is welcome. My classroom will also be an environment where my students will be and feel safe. Students will also be able to be creative and release their creativity within my classroom. And lastly, students within my classroom will be rewarded for their good behavior. This will be done through a ticket system where students can be awarded tickets worth 1 point or 5 points daily, which I already talked about. And then lastly, I've attached a link of an interactive classroom map for you, so you can see exactly how our classroom is set up. And on that link, there's little bubbles where you can touch, and it'll explain more about everything in our classroom, so that you have an idea of what our class looks like and what your students are working with and doing in our classroom.
So that is my classroom website. You can have access to it whenever you feel necessary. If you have any more questions about our classroom website or anything within our class, just feel free to contact me below with these two contact information. And I'm so excited to have you in my class, and I can't wait for this upcoming year.